The Trump campaign has submitted explosive evidence of voter fraud to the DOJ in the form of a sworn affidavit from a poll worker in Clark County, Nevada. Now, that poll worker joins me now exclusively with the shocking details. Now, we're going to be concealing her identity, even disguising her voice over her own safety concerns. Thank you for joining us. You saw something suspicious. We're going to get right into it tonight. Happening on the side of a Biden-Harris van in the parking lot of the polling station. Now, walk the audience through what happened.
I went out to go for a walk on my break, and I probably had a 150, 175-foot stretch where I was walking. The Biden van was parked along this stretch, and I was walking to it, so about 150 feet, I was walking and I could see these people hand over what appeared to be white envelopes, just hand over onto this table. And as I got closer, the envelopes were being torn open. There were two people dropping the envelopes and two people ripping them open and turning and facing the van and drawing on them or marking them. And as I got closer, as I was walking, they would put things down and pick more paper up and mark on the van and then put it down and pick some more up. And as I got closer, I thought, those are ballots. And I didn't, I was in my polling uniform, basically. And as I walked by, I looked and I thought, those are ballots. And it kind of was an odd, like, what are they doing? There were 4 total people, but only 2 were marking and opening the envelopes and the paper. And as it took about a 6-minute walk to walk this parking lot, and I did it. I just walked my entire lunch hour. And so I came around a second time, and they're still opening and marking the ballots.
But you didn't say anything? You didn't say anything when you first saw it? I mean, how close were you to be able to see a ballot?
Well, as I was walking towards them, I was, like if you're coming down a sidewalk on a block, and say the van was maybe a block and a half away. So I'm walking up to the van. When I get to them, I kind of give them a wide berth because they're all standing there, and we were told not to interact with anybody out there. And I mean, we were told that if we interact, we could get in trouble, and not to talk to them, not to take pictures, not to do anything. So,
but did they react to you? But my question is, did they? So you're walking up to them. You can see that they seem to be filling in ballots.
Right, but their backs are to me. As I'm walking by them, I'm walking, and their backs they're facing the van because they're using the van as a hard surface to mark the ballots. So they're not looking at me walking. I'm walking by them, and I just walk past them. I don't turn around. I just walk by, and I kind of make a mental note like, well, that's odd. And I keep walking. So I walked by the van twice, seeing them open and doing this, marking them on the van.
On a table, just on the side of the van. I'm trying to visualize this. On the side of the van, or
it's not a little van. It's more like an airport shuttle. It's a bigger vehicle. It's not as big as a bus, but it's not like just a 8-passenger van.
I got it. And so are they writing on their hand? Are they is there on the van?
They've got the paper up. They're holding the paper with one hand, and with their marker, they're marking. They're going down marking the ballot. And you didn't put it down, and it picks
you didn't say
else
anything, up. Right? But you didn't say anything when you first noticed this.
Well, when I first walked by, no, and I walked by a second time, and I'm thinking, did I just see what I'm seeing? It's kind of like a little.
And what
bit
did you
shock.
do then? You walk by again, and they're still doing it.
I walked by 4 or 5 times. On the next time that I walked by, they're putting them in the envelopes. They're putting them in a white and pink envelope. And like I said, I'm not walking by the van like walking around a van. I'm coming on a parking lot, a big, rectangular parking lot. So they're at one end, about 150 feet from the door of the polling place, and that would be diagonally. I'm walking more like a square. So as I come around the corner and I see them putting these pieces of paper back in what appears to be a pink and white envelope. So I make a mental note, and this time when I walk by, 5 and 6 people come and form like their backs to me, but now I can't see what they're doing. And as I walk by, one of them looks at me, and the whole line moves as I walk by them. And it scared me. It was
Like
like,
to form
oh
a
my-
wall, to form a wall, just so people understand, to form a wall, so you believe, so you
like
couldn't
shoulder
see.
to shoulder, right? So if you're standing shoulders to 5 people standing shoulders to shoulder facing the 4 people that are on the inside. So I couldn't see what they were
Right,
doing
all
now
right.
because they were
Wait,
all
okay.
blocking it. As I walked by them, the wall moved.